In the last 3 hours, Governor Walz laid out a plan that he says will make health care more affordable for everyone in Minnesota. He's going right to the insurance providers saying it's time for them to pay more. Danny Spiewak has our other story live from the Capitol tonight. Danny?
Well, this plan is focused on the almost 200,000 people in Minnesota who get their health care through the individual marketplace through the Affordable Care Act. These are people we're talking about that don't qualify for Medicaid or Medicare, but they also don't get insurance through their job. Today, Walz proposed a change to the system that helps lower their premiums on the individual marketplace. Just to explain this, it's kind of confusing. Right now, the state pays hundreds of millions out of its general fund at the state budget level to subsidize insurers for high-cost claims on things like expensive cancer treatment so that the people that are on the individual healthcare market don't have to worry about that burden through their premiums. This whole thing's called reinsurance. Minnesota is one of a handful of states that does this in the country. But now in the upcoming budget cycle this session, Walz is proposing now to have the insurance companies themselves contribute more to the program, rather than the taxpayers through the general fund. Walz says this will help free up state money to guard against possible Medicaid cuts.
This is a case where the state can and will shore up against some of the most drastic and quite honestly, to me, some of the more cruel cuts that are coming out of the federal government.
But this would need approval from the legislature, and tonight Senate Republicans have been pushing back against the plan that Governor Walz unveiled. They say that they think this is going to raise everybody's premiums across the state, and also a group that represents nonprofit insurers, so like Blue Cross Blue Shield, they also say that this is disproportionately going to fall on them. So that was the focus of the news conference today. There were also some off-topic questions, though, about some controversial comments the governor made earlier this week. That's the story we're going to have coming up at 6. Chris.
Danny, I thought these tax incentives were part of the Affordable Care Act. It was what made it work. Question to you is, did the insurers that you got a statement from, did they say they will pay more, and do they have to pay more if the governor says we're not covering these with tax dollars anymore?
Well, basically, the way this was explained in the news conference is that the insurers themselves were made aware of this plan. They obviously may not like it or have some concerns about it, but under state statute, there is a mechanism for the state to be able to implement this. They don't call it a tax, they're calling it an assessment, but it sounds like a tax to just kind of the person at home. But basically, this would need legislative approval, and they say they could do it. But again, the House is divided right now. You know, Democrats don't have full control of government anymore here in the state of Minnesota, so unclear if this would actually pass.
Danny Spiewak at the Capitol. Thank you, sir.